Right, let's do this. The players are ready. The first map is Blue Shift. It's only taken us 30 minutes to get a game of StarCraft started. Hopefully no further technical issues will clear the final. It's going to be beast, isn't it? Xeminus playing Zerg, Louis, Ethan playing Zerg, Louis also playing Zerg. So ZVC for the first game on Blue Shift. Carnage, let the carnage ensue. Hopefully my laptop can cope with this. We're going to find out, aren't we? It already sounds like it's about to lift off. Or these are just the menus. Right, let's do it. Oh no, I didn't put the WCS overlay on, but anyway. Right. Oh no. I've also just realised that in fact the control button doesn't work on this laptop. Anyway, let's do this. So here in the bottom left of Blue Shift is Louis as the pinkish Zerg, and up in the top right it's Xeminus saying "Don't die." How can I? Oh no! The lack of a control button is going to pain me a great deal. So. What's this going to be? He's just mucking about over here. Is he going to... What is this? Surely not. Oh, hearts! Yay! Big love from Xeminus. We appreciate it. We appreciate it a great deal. So I don't know. Is he pinging things for me? Louis looks like he's playing incredibly straight up. Up in the production tab, it's hatch first. Xeminus, on the other hand, is this an extractor I see before pull? It is, you know. So it's gonna, like, we sort of knew that it was going to be like this. Xeminus is always going to play something off the wall, and Louis is going to play something pretty straight up. So Overlord Scouts are not going to see this anytime soon by the looks of things, based on the direction of them. Overlords in the middle just pass by each other, so everybody knows that it's all friendly so far. It is going to take the best part of a minute before this Overlord realizes that there is no expo here. And that's going to be the first alarm bell. Let's see how far through the pull is. We're about halfway done on that pull. Louis' pull actually not very much further behind that. So there is a pretty good chance he's going to be set to defend this, but the gas production, let's just have a check at how much gas has been mined here. 2230 in Louis' base, but it's 2160 in Xeminus' base, so he's ahead on the gas count, and his speed will be able to start pretty much as soon as the pull finishes up. The pull is finished, and there it is. So he is going to have fast lings sooner, and with this proxy hatch he's going to be able to reinforce pretty quickly. So let's have a look. Where are you at, Louis? Do you know this is happening? If we can get a bit of Louis' vision going. He does. There's no creep down here, so he is going to know full well that there is no expo. He's going to have seen the lings moving out, so he knows what's up. He knows this is coming, I think. Let's see what sort of preparations we're going to see going on at home. Handful of lings. Oh no, the run by. They're not going to find much damage here. You want to ignore the hatchery. They might get a couple of workers. The queen is going to come out, and a queen will see off these 4 lings, but will take quite a lot of damage. Is this queen going to see off the lings? Should do. No, what do I know? It's not like I've played this game ever. So Louis, already having lost this queen, going to lose a worker or 2 as well. I can't be happy about this. There's 8 more lings in production. Speed is very nearly finished up, and Louis' speed only just starting, but he is ahead on the binling nest. So that can change everything. I don't know, I'd like to zoom out, but I don't think the laptop is going to cope with it. Louis has got to know at this point that there's a proxy hatch. There's just too many lings getting here too fast. Speed finishes up, and if I'm Xeminus, I'm ignoring this hatchery. Why work on that when you could be up in the base just wreaking havoc? If the binling nest finishes here, is allowed to finish while there's still lings on the map, that could be good for Louis. This crawler, I don't think, is going to finish up on time. I think the queens are going to go down here, and he is focusing those queens, which is the right thing to do. Xeminus, however, taking his finger off the production button, and that is a dangerous thing to do in a ZVZ, because it can swing quickly. Look at that, both queens very low on health, but neither of them dead. That is a great result for Louis. If he can, I don't know about moving the queens down here, and I don't like it. I would like to see the queens side by side on the ramp, because 2 queens will completely block a single hex ramp like this. So these queens can actually prevent further lings getting in. There's still nothing in production for Xeminus. I don't really understand what's going on with that. There's lings coming across the map. He isn't supply locked. He has got money in the bank. I don't understand why he is not building stuff. Fix it, Xeminus. So the hatchery kill is useful. That's a good thing. These queens so low on health, I don't like them being out the front at all. This one's going to die very, very quickly indeed. And it does go down. The second one isn't going to last very much longer. If these banelings finish up, they could change this. But it's the only hope really that Luous has got here, because although I say that, if Xeminus doesn't build stuff, this is the path that he has chosen. He's only got 10 supply spare, and that isn't enough. If you're waiting for these roaches, you need to have spawned those overlords in advance so that you've got at least 20 supply free, so that you can crank out the roaches to soak up the baneling hits. The banelings are out, and this is more than enough to defend against just lings. It will take a reasonable number of roaches to break this now. So this expo mining for Xeminus as well, so I dare say we do have an income advantage. Let's just take a little peek. There is a little bit light on the gas. Let's see if the lings get any sort of anything done here. They need to run from these banelings pretty fast, so it's hard to imagine anything else getting getting done in terms of lings for Xeminus. This hatch is going to fall pretty easily, pretty much for free. So where do you go from here, Xeminus? Presumably you put your elbow on the roach button and you keep it there for a long time. He has now opened up that supply, so 30 supply to play with, plenty of money in the bank, but where's the gas? There's only one worker in gas. Well, that's fatal basically. I think he forgot to get those workers mining gas. He forgot the second gas, so his roach production is going to be pitiful. It is not going to be enough. It is as simple as that. So at present it looks like Luous has held. Yeah, but anybody think it happened? What do I know? Often at this point stuff happens on the map without me even noticing it, so do shut if you see anything like that. The control button is killing me here. Looks like enough roaches to hold at home. So these lings aren't going to get much done, and banelings aren't going to get anything done really against the roaches, and those get completely shut down. So both players need to recalibrate at this point, and they need to think, okay, initial shots have been fired. Both players have taken some losses. I currently right now prefer Luous' position. The third hatch is on the way. The natural is mining. Xeminus is still waiting for this natural to finish up. Let's have another quick peek at the income tab. So Luous with the slight advantage at present. Army supply in favour of Xeminus, but a lot of that is not necessarily useful. The lings aren't going to get past banelings, but the worker supply is the big story here. Massive difference in the worker supply, and that is problematic. What are these guys doing? They're just back from their holidays with a bit of a tan. I don't really know what is happening in this game. Anybody wants to give me some hints, I'd be open to it.
There's a sneaky expand in the top left hand corner.
There is, yeah. Hasn't finished up yet. I don't know, that could take a long time to get spotted. On the other hand, let's have a quick look at Luous' vision. Where is he on the map? He doesn't have anything up in that corner. There's no overlord spread in that direction. These lings, just a bit of harass, just keeping your opponent busy. Nothing wrong with that. The Ravagers are out as well. I didn't see Ravagers for Xeminus, and that's probably because of that gas deficit that he is struggling to afford those. But he needs to be careful here. He does need to get things in order. He needs to drone up. And I don't know whether or not Luous is going to give him time to do so. If knowing Luous, I would be inclined to say yes, he probably is. So in Xeminus' position, thinking about the way your opponent plays, Luous is probably going to move out strong off 3 bases here. So what you need to do is make sure you're ready for that, and for the time being your biggest deficit is in workers. So hold on the drone button, get that economy up, and then think about what's going to counter the roaches that are going to be coming. What's going on in tech here? So was that +1 just finished? Seems like a good time to go moving out, and he's definitely going to check for the third here, and well, he knows there isn't a third, so maybe he's going to try and run these lings into the natural. They're going to meet some heavy resistance. That'll get shut down pretty fast, so just checking then in case the third's up in this location. and he's going to be pleased by this. If you're Louis right now, you're thinking, my opponent's only on 2 base, I'm on 3, I'll sit back and I will just out macro my opponent. What he doesn't know is that this sneaky expo over here could turn this game if he doesn't find it. But at present, Xeminus, where's your production? This production tab has been a bit miserable the whole game for Xeminus. I am kind of, I know that he's a little bit out of practice, but look, there's no injects from the queens. The creep spread is non-existent. At present, Louis' creep spread, nothing to write home about either. But I don't know, it's beginning to look slightly ominous. Let's check that army supply again. Army supply, not a massive difference, but look, this worker supply is just obscene. That is a huge difference, and there it is in the mineral tab. I don't know, Xeminus, what are you going to do, man, to get back into this? We're not really seeing great advancement in tech. The spar has finally come down for Xeminus, and that might be okay, but the Hydra Den is done. I don't see Hydras on the map just yet, but the spar is a while away. No Hydras in production either. Are we going to see some burrowed roaches involved in this? I don't know. Has he had the tunneling claws upgrade? I didn't notice. Let's have a look. No, and not even roach speed. So maybe, I think it's the pressure. It's the pressure of the occasion, isn't it? These players are, a little bit off their best. I think they're both just waiting for something to happen, isn't it? They're waiting for something to happen, and so am I. So are we. Come on, I want to see some carnage here. Yeah, this is an odd mix of units. You've got like Benlings at the front, a handful of Lings, mostly Roach and Ravagers. It's a bit odd. I don't think neither of them have really given an awful lot of thought to the composition they're going for. These mutas could wreak havoc because there's still no Hydras out here. 3 queens is going to help a great deal, and I don't think that the numbers of mutas are quite enough yet to deal with those queens. Only 1 queen in the natural, but the Overlord sees it. Spores are done, so picking off that Overlord on the way across the map is actually supply cap Louis, and he, there are still a few Overlords out on the map that could be picked off, and that is pleasing, but it isn't really the damage that you want to get when you've invested over 1,000 minerals and 1,000 gas in Mutalisks. You want to get something done. The 4th comes down for Louis, just finishing up now. Still not seeing much mining going on from this base at the top, and only now the queen comes out up there, so that queen is going to help. It's going to help get the larva out quicker. This oversaturated base is going to lose a lot of drones, but it is massively oversaturated, so it's actually not going to matter that much. It's not really going to have an impact on the economy. These 3 queens, you don't want to tangle with them. You want to run quite fast. Yeah, and Hydra's now coming out as well. So the Mutalisks are going to be slightly annoying, but really all Louis needs to do is drop a spore in each mineral line, a couple of queens, and he's going to be pretty bulletproof against that, unless Xeminus commits extremely hard to that. But if we look in the upgrades, there's no flyer upgrades going on. Oh, there is. Sorry, flyer +1. So I'm confused. I think Xeminus is confused as well. The pattern of this shows no clear plan. It's just like, well, that hasn't worked. Maybe I'll build a few mutas. That didn't work great either, so why are we seeing flyer upgrades coming? Unless you're going to commit hard to it, don't waste the money. You don't have spare money. This is quite a number of roaches. So let's...
There's a lot.
Yeah, not really. I mean, that's it. Mutalisks, isn't it? I wanted to follow those. Can I follow them? I'm following a bit of rock, look. Brilliant. Rock, as always in StarCraft, doesn't move very fast. Geological rock, isn't it? It's pretty regular rock. Armoured rock, in fact it is, I think, if we were to check. So this mover is pretty potent looking. Let's have a quick look at the army supply. Yeah, it's substantial at this stage. Upgrade wise, we've got +2 attack on these. There needs to be Ravagers in this mix. There's a single Ravager, and that is not enough. Trying to hold this narrow choke, Ravagers just make such a huge difference. Your opponent is forced to channel through there, and those corrosive vials can just smash everything. Louis has found this with a bunch of Lings, and they are going to shut that down. No, they're not. The mutas are going to help. I don't know. I'm wasting my time here, aren't I? Still no injects from these queens, and I don't know, man. I don't know. Right, let's see the Jukaru. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, the corrosive bards go up for Louis. There's none yet for Xeminus, and I think Louis just A-clicks for the win at this point. Eats a corrosive bard to the fist, doesn't even care. He's just like, I've got the numbers, I'm at 170 supply. Xeminus at below 100. This game is a GG. Let's have a look at the upgrades. We've got +1 against +2. The mutas are going to help, but there's probably enough hydras here. If he focuses these mutas down, they're going to die reasonably quickly. And there's the pen. You know, that is going to be it, isn't it? GG!